Hey, thanks for coming back so I don't have to watch my own videos. Alrighty, in this episode, let's talk some more about Old World encounters. First up, how is Christianity and Roman religion syncretic? So to begin, Christianity developed around the time of when the Roman Empire, one of the greatest empires in all of history, was in its golden age. Christianity follows the teachings of Jesus Christ, whereas Roman pagan cults sort of worshipped idols, so like Roman gods and goddesses. So fundamentally, they were quite different, but early Christians were able to use syncretism to successfully convert the Romans, and they did this through the adoption of the past cults' rituals, qualities, and holy days. So like when the Romans converted, they weren't totally throwing away their old customs, and it was easier to accept. Who was Charlemagne, the Frankish kingdom, in Christianity? Charlemagne was basically this French king who existed after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, and that is a long story in itself, but basically the Roman Empire grew too big and couldn't hold their lands, so it split into two, the West and East. The West was run by the Holy Roman Empire, basically the Catholic Church, and the East was run by the Byzantine Empire, basically the Orthodox Church. Charlemagne consolidated the Frankish kingdom, which was in power in Central and West Europe at the time, and then he made a deal with the Holy Roman Empire and was made the Holy Emperor. And as a result, he used this to solidify his legitimacy and ultimately converted to Christianity himself. Even more important though, he helped establish even more power for the Catholic Church, which was struggling at the time. And as a result, they were able to establish a presence in pagan lands, and conversion could then occur at a rapid pace. So, how did Christianity and Islam spread? Primarily, it was through rulers like we saw earlier, such as Constantine, who converted to Orthodox Christianity, and Mansa Musa, who converted to Islam. But missionaries also played a large role because both religions are proselytizing, basically meaning they actively seek converts, unlike Judaism or Hinduism, which you're kind of born into. Also, once again, the Silk Road is a very big deal. Zoroastrian followers. So Zoroastrianism was a popular religion back in the day, and it was founded in Persia, which is modern-day Iran. So you see the Persian empires adopt it, and one Persian empire was the Achaemenid dynasty, and it was like the first of these chains of dynasties. So after the Achaemenid dynasty came Alexander the Great, and he was from Macedonia, which is modern-day Greece. And because he was a foreigner, he didn't actually follow it when he conquered all these Eurasian lands. But right after Alexander died, the Persian Parthian Empire was able to gain power, and they really related to the Achaemenids before and supported the religion of Zoroastrianism. And this is actually the Zoroastrian symbol. According to history, Zoroastrianism influenced many religions, particularly the Abrahamic religions. So scholars find certain elements of Zoro in post-exilic Jews and Jewish prophets, the Pharisees. Post-exilic simply means after exile, or the Jews after they were kicked out of their homelands by the Babylonians, and you'll learn that too in AP World. In turn, we know Judaism influenced Christianity and Islam, and these three make up the Abrahamic religions because they trace significant roots to the prophet Abraham. And it also influenced Manichaeism, which is a religion also founded in Persia and was like a mashup of Christianity, pagan elements, and Gnostic elements. Why was the Silk Road important? Well, we sort of already talked about this, but basically it really helped advance the human race through connection. Suddenly, the people in Western Europe could be connected to the people in Eastern Asia super easily, albeit a couple months in between. It's like how the internet connects us all these days. We can talk to people across the globe in just mere seconds. Hey, are you Wi-Fi? 'Cause we have a great connection. Wow, that was super cringy. I am never doing that again. Next up, we have how many periods of Silk Road dominance were there? And this is so tricky, TBH, and I really didn't know until after the test. Theoretically, there were like 4 main periods, but only 2 really stand out, so it's 2. The first one was around the time of Jesus, a couple hundred years before and after. The main empires facilitating this were the Han Empire in China and Roman Empire in Italy. Then a second wave was initiated through Arab traders who were supported by the Islamic caliphates and the Mongols, the legendary nomads from the steppes. Now here's a fun fact. Did you know 1 in 200 people have Genghis Khan's genes? Crazy, right? Alright, next we have Mahayana versus Hinayana, also known as Theravada. Basically, these are two sects or divisions of Buddhism. Primarily, it just boils down to their methods of conversion. Mahayana is the more liberal one, where it's, I guess, quote, easier to convert, and thus large number of people converted. Hinayana, on the other hand, is more conservative, and there are generally less converts. And because Mahayana has greater converts, it's referred to as the greater vehicle. Today, Mahayana is generally found in China, Korea, and Japan, so like East Asia, while Hinayana is found in Southeast Asia, like Thailand. Alright, how cross-cultural exchanges occurred. So we talked about this earlier, so I encourage you to pause the video and sort of think about it before I continue. Okay, so now let's continue. So basically, it occurred through travel, trade, and conquering. So basically, these were the biggest and most popular ways in which culture was spread out, whether it was by elites, merchants, or other travelers. Also, assimilation and acculturation occurred. Assimilation is like the losing of one culture to a more powerful culture, as we said earlier. And acculturation is like adapting elements of other people's culture into your own and making it your own unique culture. So really, it's just foreign exchange. How did Islam primarily spread? Well, one of the biggest is revival of LDT transport, long distance trade, and so that's like the Silk Roads. As you may recall, Islam was founded in the desert, and Arab merchants regularly traveled to Africa, also where there was desert. So the camel was the most efficient way to travel. The innovation of the camel saddle allowed for better stability while riding and greatly helped Islam spread. Also, Islam was militant and conquering at first, so the rulers who conquered other lands generally required or incentivized conversion. We'll talk about that later as well. And with that, part 2 is done. Thanks again for watching, and make sure to check out the third and last episode at the end of this video. Thanks!